signature showrooms.
Visit your Twin Cities Acura dealer for attractive offers on the RDX.
And now for the fun stuff. You're watching Fox 9 News.
It is just about 11:31 now. Thanks for joining us for Fox 9 News at 11:30. We continue to follow developing news in Minneapolis. At least 5 people die after a fire breaks out of the Minneapolis high-rise. That was early this morning. Fox 9's Rob Olson joins us now live with the very latest. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Alex. This is 630 Cedar Avenue South. We've moved around to the other side of the building here, the south end of the building. This is the lobby area, which is filled with residents and family members here, as is a neighboring area here, a community room down here. A lot of the folks that have been displaced, a lot of meals coming in to help them at this point. Also, food being brought to the Brian Coyle Center across the street here, too, to help the people who've been affected by this fire. But it's expected that a lot of them at some point here will be able to get back into the majority of this building here after this very, very tragic fire. Let's show you the video here from overnight. The fire broke out at 4 o'clock this morning, according to the Minneapolis Fire Department. Quickly went to a second and then a third alarm, mainly because of how much of a head start the fire had on the fire crews that responded, and they had to get in there and get to it on the 14th floor. I've been told here at the scene that the 14th floor is completely destroyed. It is, they said it was like a blowtorch coming down the hallway here of the 14th floor, which has 8 units in it. But the damage to the other floors is minimal. Obviously a large evacuation, but the floors above it seem to be okay. The several floors below it have some water damage that is being cleaned up to try to get people back in. But the most important thing here is that 5 people lost their lives in this fire. 4 people found in the 14th floor. A 5th person found in a stairwell, was transported to a hospital, and then pronounced dead later. So again, 5 people dying as a result of this fire that broke out at 4 o'clock this morning. Again, still trying to feed people, house them. The Minneapolis Housing Authority on the scene here, they operate this building, and they just told me that everybody has a place to stay or will have a place to stay. They have got that covered, but again, working on cleaning up the other buildings or apartments that were affected by this to get people back in, and in the meantime, making sure they stay warm and stay fed. We'll be on the scene all day and keep you posted in our later newscasts. Alex, back to you.
Yeah, so it's so tragic. 5 people losing their lives, but the others do have a place to stay. Thank you, Rob. Well, the other big story this morning, a major snowstorm hit, slowing down, of course, the roads on the day before Thanksgiving. Here's a live look this morning at our jam cams. This is 136th Street. We don't see too many trouble spots there. Roads look pretty good, actually. Well, today is the busiest travel day of the year, meaning the roads were always going to be packed, but the snow adding to the challenges the drivers face. Fox 9's Bill Kelly, he joins us now. Bill has been on the road all morning long. Have you found one spot, would you say, that was probably the worst in the metro area?
You know, the spots, Alex, that we saw that were bad have gotten so much better. In fact, our last report, we showed you a look at the interstates. I thought, let's go take a look at any given side street. We are in Richfield right now, and you can see exactly how much snow they had. These cars that are parked up here on the right-hand side, you see how big that berm is, packing them on in. But then again, with the temperatures and the plows out, you can see how just wet the road is. So that's a good thing. MnDOT had 800 plows across the state. They're not done. There's plenty of work still to be done, but in Minneapolis and St. Paul, they have declared snow emergencies, so that's going to become a where do you park kind of thing, especially over the Thanksgiving holiday. That could be a little confusing. Crews put down plenty of salt in brine before the snow started falling. What really helped them out was the fact that the bulk of the snow really came down overnight while there were not a lot of cars on the road. That gave MnDOT and plow drivers a really good upper hand to try and get things cleaned off so they weren't actually competing with all the traffic. That said, still a lot of accidents this morning statewide, about 180 crashes, 280 spinouts, including some jackknife semis. Nobody seriously injured, but it was certainly a bit of a handful for drivers to deal with this morning. I said it before, I'll say it again. If you're going out of town, if you're going on a longer than usual road, it's a good idea to let the folks know you. If you run into any trouble, they'll have an idea that something's not right. Alex?
Okay, yeah, good reminder from Bill Keller, folks. They're on the roads all morning. Well, several cities are also under snow emergencies, including St. Paul. So make sure you are parking in a non-snow emergency route, because that you don't want to be there, because then you probably get towed.
Yeah,
Not
and
good.
then go by.
Not good.
It's just that simple. We have our snow. Our snow's come in. Our snow's gone out. Pretty easy. Got our month's worth of snow in about 12 to 14 hours. I guess that is one way to do it. Not my preferred way to do it. Our largest snowstorm officially in the Twin Cities that we've had in November. A November snowstorm. Going back, you gotta go back to I want to say it's 2001. We might have done something similar in 2011. Then about 4 or 5 years ago, we came off of those. Rockville coming in Stearns County at 10 inches of snow. Savage, just there in the South Metro, 9.5. A lot of 9s in Farmington, barely 8.5 in Craig. Oh, I just wanted somebody to hit 11. We got there in New Prague. 8.5 in Mendota Heights and 8.8 in Roseville. Now again, as these were measured, I challenge you, you measured these if you were one of the folks that went out. So to go out and measure the exact same thing now, because it won't work. The ground's melting it off the bottom, the compaction off the top, because it's a heavy snow. It's just making it shrink a little bit too, getting a little tighter. Minnetonka coming in with 9.5, 9s in Fire Lake, 8.3 officially at the airport. We might end up with another 2 or 3 tenths on top of that. Chanhassen coming in just shy of 8, Menominee 9.5, Plymouth 8.5. That's my driveway. I have to move that in another half hour. And then about 8 inches in Albert Lea. Now, at the airport, 8.3 inches of snow. Oh, that converted down to about 7/10 of an inch of liquid. That's all we needed. In fact, we only needed a little over a quarter inch to make it into first place. We were in third place. Now we are first place for the wettest year on record in the Twin Cities at 40.81 inches of liquid. Again, we knocked the snow down for an equivalent there. Average year is about 29. So we're running about almost a foot over. And oh, by the way, this is for the entire year. We still have a month to go. So all we're going to do through December is just add on to that, just keep making it bigger. Cloud cover out there now with a temperature of 31 degrees and a northwest wind light around 17. Nice to get that down a little bit off of those breezes of 20 to 25. The gusts are still up there, closer to 30, but we were up to 40, so borderline 50 mile per hour wind gusts back in the 5 and the 6 and 7 o'clock hour as we were tight in on that low pressure area and all of those gusty winds coming in behind it. Now that we've shut the snow down for most of the viewing area, we're now just dealing with cloud cover and again, some breezes, sure, but not as gusty. The snow's still across the North Shore, up around the Arrowhead, out across northwest Wisconsin, but it's all leaving us. Bye-bye. You're tired of it for now. As we go on out the door, again, the cloud cover lingers for the day. We'll break up some of it out west as we go to the late afternoon and evening, but for the most part, all this is now something of our past, and we can look to our future. I have, by obligation, to tell you, there's still a thunderstorm warning for another 20%. It's all about travel issues more than anything else. Just be cautious as you go out, and of course, I know you will be through the better part of the day. Back to some cloud cover that breaks free overnight tonight. Into some great sunshine tomorrow morning, down into the teens. Folks heading downtown or wherever you might be going for certain turkey trots, etc. It's going to be cold tomorrow morning for all of those little marathons and races that are going on. And with sunshine to start you off, that'll be great. But as we go to the afternoon, the clouds are start to roll our way. Where are these clouds coming from? From a moseying, ambling, old, low pressure area that's in no rush to move on through here. So a little bit of a snow rain, maybe Thursday night to Friday. We dance around that on Friday itself. Nothing aggressive. It's a slow move. This is just the tip of the iceberg. The low, all the way out there. It'll take us all weekend. This sucker just go, move on through. There's a lot of rain with it, a lot of snow with it. We're going to tap into pretty much all of that as we head on into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Mileage will vary on accumulations, though, by the tail end of it because of that rain potential. For today, our clouds drifting off. Windy and cloudy, 31 degrees. Again, the winter storm warning in effect through noon. Northwest winds 15 to 25 miles per hour, but they still have a little bit of a punch to them. Tonight, clear, colder, 16 for your overnight low, which is not that far off of average, I might add. And then as we go into the day tomorrow, a high of 28 degrees comes on in here with a good little sunny start. Then clouds build into the afternoon as the how are you? East wind remains light around 5 miles per hour. Looking ahead on the 7-day forecast, there's that little chance for that little kind of rain-snow combo on Friday as we dance back and forth. Better opportunity to really go nuts with some rain and some snow, both with some freezing drizzle as we go on into Friday night and into the day on Saturday with highs in the upper 30s. And then on Sunday, we wrap it all up as some light snow showers again. Accumulations are going to vary greatly across the viewing area through the weekend, and you want to stay tuned. We already have winter storm watches in effect for parts of northwestern Minnesota that will see all snow through the weekend, and they're looking at maybe a foot up across the northwestern corner. On the back edge of it, all about the colder air. Again, we're in the 20s for highs with some sunshine at least going into Monday.
Sunshine will help.
That's something.
We'll need it. Yeah, we're making up for all that snow like this week, right?
It's supposed to spread it out.
Yeah.
Maybe that means we're going to get rid of it. We'll get some.
That would be
I'll have to
good.
mow the grass in February.
All right, thanks, Keith. The snow also had an impact, of course, on holiday travelers flying out of the airport. More than 8 inches of snow have been recorded at MSP International. At last check, 27 flights heading out of MSP are delayed. About 16 have been canceled.